originally from Karachi, Pakistan, and I started working, just volunteering at a home for some severely disabled children. And from that, I went into education. A lot of questions that I had in my mind were answered when I started reading and learning about the Montessori philosophy of education. My husband's aunt was the president of the Montessori Association. She was actually trained by Dr. Montessori, was her student and then her assistant when Dr. Montessori lived in India and did all the trainings. Back, and then in 1997, I opened a Montessori Discovery Place, which was a small preschool for 3 to 6 year olds from the lower level of my home, which was converted into a Montessori preschool. And then just last month, we were getting so many inquiries for people wanting infant and toddler care, and people wanting us to expand, and I just constantly turning people away, and so we decided to kind of venture out, make it a little bit bigger. We have a multi-age grouping in the classroom. So I think the children, first of all, are academically advanced when they enter the traditional elementary educational system. And then the children also, because they are so independent, and in Montessori, where we do not have our philosophy of rewards and punishments, children will go and do things because they need to be done, not because there's a gold star or a sticker at the end of it. So there is no bribing system. Whereas in education, you do only if you do something good will you get a gold star or you get a candy bar or whatnot. If not, you will have to go sit in a timeout chair. So we don't have rewards and punishments in Montessori. And that develops the inner self in the child. That develops the self-esteem and the self-worth in the child. The child can believe in him or herself from a very young age. That's why we give them glass things that they can use, work with. Even the 1-year-olds drink out of real little glasses. The 2-year-olds, all the older children do that. It's because it develops that sense of self-worth in the child. And that's priceless. That's something that people need when they're 40, 50, when they have, go through something difficult in their life. It's something that's within them that'll tell them not to give up. They'll know that they are someone special and they can conquer so many things. So it's a very valuable skill to give someone for the rest of their lives. And again, Montessori philosophy is, Dr. Montessori called it education for life. It's not just education for the purpose of learning ABC and reading and writing, but it's an education to live a holistic life, to go out and be a productive citizen in society. And so, as the children get older and as they are in Montessori elementary and even in high school, they have that sense of community. They have their sense of belonging. They know they need to go out in society and do good things. So they have been, instead of just being very egocentric about wanting something for themselves, and that's the end of it. We're following the laws of nature. The material is set up. The teachers learn how Dr. Montessori's whole philosophy was set up by observing children the way nature intended them to be. And so she observed that the brain is growing using certain sensitive periods of development, and the brain and all children in any part of the world grow following certain laws of nature. And so the whole environment and whole system of med education is designed along following the child the way nature intended us to grow. Whether you walk on a child in India, South America, South Africa, anywhere, UK, all children grow and develop following certain laws of nature, and the neurological development, the brain grows in the same way. All we do is provide an environment and opportunities for those connections to be made easily. Connections are made easily, Dr. Montessori discovered, by children working hands-on with their materials. The hand is the instrument of intelligence, and so all impressions come to the child through his or her senses, but the child has to manipulate everything with his or her hands as for the brain to understand what the concept is. Under the age of 3, all impressions come to the child through the mouth. That's why they put everything in their mouth. The mouth is the greatest source of information for a child under the age of 3. And then it's all over and through the senses. The senses and the hand combine for the child to understand everything about the world around him. And everything is in reality. The classroom is a real space, is a living space for the child. It's so funny that all the neuroscience research that is taking place now and all the discoveries that these scientists are making right now was actually done by Dr. Montessori 100 years ago when she just observed children. It's really important. And again, we don't have the theme of centers. You give children ample time. In Montessori classroom, they get 3-hour blocks of concentration where they can work on activities. So we don't flick children, arbitrarily every 10-15 minutes. Okay, time to go to something else, time to go to something else. So that's what Montessori is about, only in Montessori.